Hello, and welcome to Solving the Value Problem. This channel aims to help you self-improve in ways that will specifically help you improve your position in the competitive dating marketplace. Today's video is about Instagram maxing, which is basically curating your online image to appear as desirable as possible. This guide is best suited for younger guys that might be in college or are around that age group, but many lessons here apply to anyone, and it is never too late to improve your Instagram. There are so many reasons that having a dialed Instagram page is such an important tool in modern dating that it honestly deserves its own video. But in summary, you can think about your Instagram page as your business card for dating and socializing. Girls that you meet out at night or in cold approach situations are often more willing to share their Instagram than their phone number, and having an attractive profile can lead to less flakes. Girls at your college or workplace might look you up, and if they do not know you very well, make positive or negative assumptions about you and your status. And finally, many consider Instagram to be the world's biggest dating app. And if you want to use Instagram to DM girls and build a scalable dating funnel, then building a competitive profile is a must. One of the first things to optimize is your follower to following ratio. It is pretty lame that people care about it, but many people, especially girls that might not know you very well, won't follow you back if you are following much more people than are following you. Having more followers than you are following signals higher status and implies a level of social proof. If your ratio is off, simply getting it balanced will lead to many more people following you back and not unfollowing you over time. There are 3 actionable ways to fix your ratio that I will cover today. Unfollow people that are not following you back. Sadly, people might unfollow you or not follow you back in the first place to improve their own ratio. It says more about them and their insecurity than it does about you or your intrinsic value. Often people may see your excessive following count and assume you do not pay attention and won't notice them unfollow. Take a few minutes every day to go through your following list and check for people that do not follow you back. You can see whether or not someone is following you back by tapping their following list and seeing whether or not your name is at the top. If I were improving my ratio, this is where I would start. Not just to fix the ratio itself, but to avoid giving free attention to someone who lacks the courtesy to follow you back. Beware of using third-party apps that claim to help you find people that unfollow you, as they sometimes lead to you being hacked or deactivated. Check out my school community for safe methods to identify people who unfollow you. Manage the amount of celebrities, influencers, or pages you follow. After you unfollow people who do not follow you back, look at celebrity or meme-type pages that you follow and consider unfollowing ones that rarely post, no longer interest you, or that are redundant. For example, I used to follow multiple ESPN pages that often posted the same things. It is normal to consume content on Instagram, and following a few of these can show your interests, including ones that may show shared interests or taste with girls that check out your page. You can see a list of these pages by going to your following and tapping the Hashtags, Creators, and Businesses tab. If you still have a poor ratio at this point, consider creating a second burner account for following these pages, but unfollow them from your main account you use for dating and socializing. Also, following hashtags does not count as a follow on your list, although as of now, your hashtags you follow are public. Accept requests from promotional pages or spam accounts. Many of these accounts have poor ratios and do not notice if you follow them back or not. If you are private, consider waiting a few weeks before accepting their request in case they do notice. And be aware that some of these pages can be people you know, like an ex-girlfriend that you blocked, that want to anonymously stalk your page or stories. Another thing to optimize is your bio. In general, simpler is better. Although you may be tempted to list your hobbies, age, or things like that in your bio, it can come across as try-hard, and it is better to display those things in your posts or stories. In my experience, both with myself and seeing other successful profiles, a more minimalist approach is best. Many will only put their city, or perhaps their college. Everyone that is trying to optimize their Instagram should have a profile picture. If you are private, you should keep in mind that this is all a girl will see when you send her a follow or DM. Therefore, it should show your face and be an attractive picture of you. If you have a public page with attractive pictures of you that show your face, you have a little more wiggle room with the profile picture, but it should still be an attractive picture of you that will catch the girl's attention. Under no circumstances should it be an anime picture or anything that isn't you. Your username needs to be easy to type out and associate with your actual name. Imagine yourself in a loud club telling a girl your Instagram handle, and it has a bunch of complicated numbers or underscores. Of course, a few are fine, but it shouldn't be hard to find your profile. It also should be somewhat representative of your name, so people associate it with you and have an easier time finding your page if they decide to look you up. When it comes to posting, it is important to convey your value while not coming across as trying hard and really just being cool about everything. Candid photos are king and should be prioritized over overly staged or posed photos. To use examples that might be familiar for those in this space, Lucas Pachter's pictures are more effortless and natural looking, while Austin Dunham's page is more posed and choreographed. Keep in mind that although looks are a part of a man's attractiveness, there are other elements of value that can be conveyed through photos, such as body language, style, and the setting one is in. Also, having more candid type photos, even if they are secretly planned, hence the term planded, can look more masculine and makes it look like you don't care as much, even if you do. A couple more posed shots is okay if they are contextual to something like a special event, or if they are sparse, but should not make up the majority of your page. Also, consider photos with friends that can show social status. Even if it is posed with you all facing the camera, it is good to show aspects of your social life on your page. Make sure that if you post group photos, that you post ones where you look good and do not have submissive body language. Women are attracted to leaders, and it is ideal that you are closer to the middle of the group and have open body language, even if that is not your normal role in the group. I have a list of examples of profiles and photos from successful profiles that you can emulate on my school community. These are all profiles that have plenty of extremely attractive girls following them, and reverse engineering what works for them can help you massively. When you post, try to post during times where you think most of your followers will be active on the app. Avoid posting late at night, unless you want to avoid many people seeing it in their feeds. Also consider sending your post to your friends to leave a comment, even if it is as simple as something like a fire emoji. This reinforces that you have friends and a social circle. Replying may or may not be necessary depending on the comment, and normally liking a comment at least a few hours after they are posted is enough. If you are at a cool venue, add a location tag. Girls often stalk location tags of high-end bars or restaurants looking for attractive guys in their city. Something that makes social media so toxic is like counts and the stress when your post may not be getting much traction in the algorithm. If your post gets less than 100 likes, consider hiding your likes to avoid the stress related to it. If you have comments, this can make up for lower likes. Remember, likes or social media status does not at all indicate your value as a man. This guide is just helping you put your best foot forward on these platforms, and you should look at this as a guide to using a tool, and not at all standards for if you are a cool guy or not. Your caption, similar to the bio, should be anything but try hard. It should represent your personality and depends on the post. Using rap lyrics can be worn out and should be used tongue-in-cheek. Consider it an opportunity to portray your sense of humor, but make sure you are casual about it. If it is serious, like for a post about an achievement or milestone of yours, it can be more thorough and serious, but otherwise a sentence or even just an emoji can be enough. Reposting to your story can get you more likes, in case the algorithm did not carry your post far, but can also look a little needy. You want to look like you do not really care how your post does. A common theme in this guide is feigning carelessness and a carefree attitude to all this, as men taking social media too seriously can be seen as an ick by girls. If you are not getting a good amount of likes relative to your follower count, consider that you may be posting too much. Posting too often not only hurts your performance in the algorithm, but can irritate your followers. Try to limit your actual feed posts to once a month maximum. But that is not a hard rule, and sometimes posting more often can be acceptable, but be careful. Posting to your story is a great way to portray your lifestyle in situations where a full post may not be justified. Be intentional and do not spam the feed, but story posts of concerts, hanging out with friends, a fit pic before going out, etc., are good. Not only does it keep you top of mind for girls who might regularly watch your stories, but it gives them the opportunity to like your story or reply, which is often how girls send out indicators of interest on Instagram. Still, avoid spamming the feed though, and always consider how your posts may be perceived. You do not need to post every time you're at the club, and the classic shaky pan around the dance floor is a little played out. You want to show off positive aspects of your lifestyle while still leaving some aspects to the imagination to have an aura of mystery. If you do not have good pictures, you can archive old posts instead of permanently deleting them. This way, you still have the memory and can bring them back later if you decide to. Some people archive all their posts and have zero posts on their profile. This is not ideal if you are actively using Instagram to DM girls you do not know, but can be okay if you are using it to follow and network with people you know or that are at your school. In this case, no posts can be better than bad posts while you work on getting better pictures. It can even be seen as attractive to girls, as it shows you are not a part of the state of brain rot narcissism many in this generation have, but this assumes they know you in real life. If you have zero posts, it is important that you have a good profile picture, and having a good profile picture is easier because it can be a headshot and does not require as much. Consider using story archives if you have zero posts to show something on your page in the meantime. Tagged posts can greatly help or hurt you. Tagged posts that portray you positively show social proof because other people are posting you, while bad ones can make it look like you are a catfish. Think about hiding tagged posts from your profile that make you look bad. And finally, let's discuss how to get followers. The best way to get followers is to start with following people who you know in real life to build a base. Follow your friends, classmates, and acquaintances. People who actually know you are most likely to follow you back, so it is best to start there. Once you have followed as many people you know as possible and built up a base of followers in your immediate circle, you can start following people that you have accumulated mutuals with. I suggest starting with looking for accounts, preferably girls, who have a higher following to follower ratio, as this indicates they are less stingy with who they follow back. It is preferable that they have a public profile, because some people with private profiles may treat Instagram as a way to connect with just closer friends and might not be open to following someone they don't know. It is also ideal that you have at least 10 mutuals. If you go to the same school, having that in your bio can also greatly increase your chances of being followed back, on top of having mutuals. Once you exhaust this method, you can move on to girls who have a more even ratio. At this point, your chances of being followed back depends on the quality of your profile, the girl's amount of followers and their ratio, and the amount of mutuals you have. The more balanced the ratio, the more likely they are to follow you back. Do not be surprised if a girl you don't know that isn't following 1,000 people doesn't follow you back. A trick to predict if someone is more likely to follow you back is by checking the list of people you know that follow them and seeing how many they follow back. Although most people who will follow you back will do so within 24 to 48 hours, I suggest allowing up to 4 days before unfollowing people that don't end up reciprocating. I also suggest being conscious of how many people you are following at once to avoid looking obvious and to avoid Instagram suspecting automated activity on your account. And finally, I would caution you against buying followers for 2 main reasons. First, it is easy to spot when someone bought followers, as your follow list will be filled with fake-looking accounts. You will also kill your engagement on your posts, leading to low likes in relation to your followers. It is super obvious and more unattractive than having a more modest follower count. And that is all for today. I hope you have found this guide useful in improving the attractiveness of your Instagram profile. Please remember that social media is not real life and that your status on social media in no way reflects your value as a person. The purpose of this is just to allow you to put your best foot forward, as the app is such a popular dating and social networking tool in today's day and age. And if you are interested in truly having an advantage over your competition on Instagram, consider joining my school community. Not only can you ask questions and discuss Instagram maxing with like-minded men, but you also have access to my full course, which goes into much more detail and includes things like examples of pages to emulate, tools to safely monitor who unfollows you, and more. And don't forget to subscribe for more guides like this one. Take care.